The label high functioning fooled me. It fooled teachers, but most of all, it failed my child. When my child was first diagnosed, I remember clinging on to the term high functioning. Don't worry, they're high functioning. They'll be okay. It felt safer, it felt easier, but most of all, I felt like I was telling myself that this autism diagnosis wasn't gonna change anything, when in essence, it was gonna change everything. And by repeating the word high functioning, I was doing my child a disservice, and they were not getting the support they need, and in turn, not understanding who they really were. And so today I'm going to talk to you about why I no longer use the term high functioning and why I've moved to different language. Hey, I'm Genevieve, mom to an amazing autistic child and voice behind the Autism Parent Guide. Here I take large complex topics and break them down into small bite-sized pieces. And today I want to talk to you about no longer using the term high functioning and how it's really served my family. So when someone says high functioning autism, what does that actually mean? It used to be linked to the Asperger's diagnosis. Yes, Asperger's was a diagnosis before 2013, but in 2013, when the DSM-5 was published, it removed the diagnosis of Asperger's and it actually linked it or moved it under the umbrella of the autism spectrum diagnosis, ASD. And so now medical professionals no longer have that diagnosis of Asperger's, as traits of Asperger's are linked to ASD, but you may still hear people say or refer to themselves as having or being diagnosed with Asperger's or having a high functioning autism, which is linked hand in hand. And that just means that they needed minimal support. A lot of medical professionals are moving away from the functioning aspect of autism and more so identifying it based on level of support needs, minimal, moderate, or substantial levels of support. When my child was first diagnosed, I had so many questions. Do we tell people? Do people need to know? But they present so typically. Maybe the medical professionals were wrong. Maybe if we just worked a little bit harder, we can get my child to where they need to be. We did exactly that. Mainstream school, mainstream activities, everything to show that this autism diagnosis had nothing on us. And we ended up learning the hard way. Two things happened. And the first one was when your child presents typically, they end up flying under the radar. They don't get the support that they need and they end up falling behind even more so than they did before because they don't get what they actually need in the classroom. And the second piece is that my child was just holding it together, trying to be like everybody else, masking, carrying the weight of the noise, the sensory overwhelm, the emotional highs and lows. And that was not a way to live. By moving to more mainstream language and understanding my child more, I've come to understand that it'll help serve my child in the long term. And this is when it hit me. Calling my child high functioning wasn't helping them because autism wasn't just some quirks we needed to work on. Autism was a way my child was experiencing the world. And so if we think of our children as icebergs, from above the water, the tip of the iceberg looks solid and manageable. But if we look underneath the water, it's full of struggles, emotional overwhelm, sensory overload. And if we miss what's underneath the water, or in this case, what's inside of our child, we won't truly acknowledge what our child is actually going through on a daily basis. So now I don't use the term high functioning anymore. I've moved to more inclusive terminology. I'll say my child is autistic or my child is on the spectrum. And this validates their everyday experience. If this resonates with you, hit the like and subscribe button and comment below. Do you use the word high functioning? Do you think it's a good representation of your child? There's no wrong answer. I just want to start a conversation. I just want you to know that you're not alone and neither is your child. I'll see you next week on the Autism Parent Guide.